Well, good morning. I am here in the garden, and a very overgrown garden. Since our last video, it was a couple of days before 4th of July. And if you watch the news, the hill country was pretty much hit so hard on 4th of July with floods, very bad floods, taking out children, families, animals, separating animals and humans, and very, very devastating. They're still trying to recover bodies, and there's still one little girl missing from the Mystic camp. So I'm praying for those families and for that family to someday have peace. So anyways, meantime, my county didn't get hit nearly as hard as my neighbors, the county next to us, which was Kerrville, Texas. They got hit very badly. Anyways, I'm going to come in here, and what we're doing is I have rattlesnake beans that need to come down that are dried. And I'm going to put them in a jar, and then I'm going to put them in a freezer so it will kill any of those little buggies that you don't want on your beans that hatch. So anyways, I'm going to get you set up over here, and I'm going to show you how I do it. But before I do, I'm going to show you this was my cucumber plant, and with all the rain, it pretty much destroyed the cucumbers. Too much water. And so anyways, but let's get you over here. I'm going to turn you off for a sec. All right, I'm going to go gather a few beans that I saw. Let's see here. I'm in the thing, under the thing, I mean. Okay, so let's see here. You can hear those beans, they are ready. Some of them aren't quite ready, but I'm going to get them. Still a lot of green ones. Let's see. All right. All right, so, all right, I got a handful, and I have a handful in here from just the other day. So, anyways, we'll start with these. Okay, so what I do, let's see here. Yes, the other day I opened some, and there were actually some in there trying to seed. They were growing a sprout. So, okay. All right, so what I've been doing is I've been taking the beans. I don't know if you can see that. And cooking them, putting them in a bowl. Anyway, so it's been real hard to be thankful for the rain, and we are thankful for the rain, but it just has come with such a heartache in Central Texas. Um, I don't know how people are going to recover from this. Oh, this look. I don't know if you can tell, but this is trying to sprout. That one too. Oh my goodness, I probably waited too long. Yeah, I sure did. Okay. And on 4th of July, I had 7 inches in my rain gauge. Other people had 11 inches, and that's nothing compared to the other counties that were flooded. And there are still animals that no one's claimed, wounded animals. And yeah, anyways, it's just very sad. But the Texas has just been wonderful at helping all those people in the community. Our local HEB, well, actually, HEB here in Texas has, from day one, just did incredible bringing supplies for this survivors, the helpers. Our town, we have a lot of B&Bs, and a lot of those people that have B&Bs opened their homes and B&Bs to house people that traveled from all over Texas and other states, to house them because they brought their dogs and the rescue things that they do, and so they had places to stay. And you know, after all of that, we still need rain. It's just the way it is here. We had flooding in our county, but like normal flooding that we usually would get, like creeks and water crossings. You know, people were stuck; they couldn't get across until the creeks went down. But that's about it. Our county's pretty much in the middle of everywhere that got hit. From Austin got hit pretty bad. I mean, all that area. Anyways, okay, so I've got my beans going. I'll make sure. All right, ladies, be nice. The chickens are fighting for a spot to lay an egg. Okay, I gotta make sure. See, I got some beans in there that they're really trying to sprout. Okay, let's see here. So, what I do, I'm gonna get these, and what I have been doing with the beans is I've been putting them in a jar, and then I put them in the freezer, and then I let them sit in there for about 3 days, sometimes 4, and just let them freeze. And then when they're done, I put them in this jar to store them. So these have been frozen. I like it better because I saw on where some people, what they do is they put them in the oven for, I think the temperature maybe at 250 or something like that, maybe lower, and put them in there for so long, and they said that kills everything. Knowing me, I would cook it. So I like the freezer method better because I can control it better. So, but anyways, let me hurry up and get this out of here. But some of them are bigger and some of them are smaller. My other beans on the other side of the yard are finally starting to grow. So I probably will only harvest enough to do maybe one soup. I don't know. But it's kind of exciting. So a lot of things sure didn't grow like I thought it would and I hoped for. Like my tomato plants. They're growing, but because of all the rain we haven't had enough sun. So by the time the blooms start to bloom, they'll bloom, but then the stems on that will turn yellow and fall off. So I don't, between too much water and not enough sun, they're just not making, especially the big tomatoes. But my little cherry grape tomatoes are starting to come along, and my cherry, husky cherry, whatever they're called, I've had picked a few of those that were ready for salads, but that's it. And I've had a lot of cucumbers on the other side. I made a lot of icebox pickles, and I made and just went out and picked them and ate them with salad. And I picked the last one last week, so I'm gonna try to grow some more. Have a fall garden. And the sunflower I cut down, well, I cut it down too soon because the sunflower seeds are this big because it's a mammoth sunflower head. And the reason why I cut it down is I was worried about that heavy rain coming. And sure enough, it probably would have just fallen over anyways because my other sunflowers that were next to it pretty much laid down from that weather. So probably either way, it wouldn't have made it. I'm going to do it again next year. Watch next year us being a complete drought. They are predicting the winter to be a very dry winter. See, this is not, these are not good. They're soft. Okay. Blow out some of that stuff. You can hear my rooster over there squealing Usually that means there might be a hawk somewhere. Bad. Okay, so we'll come back when I'm almost done. See you in a bit. All right, bringing you back. I'm almost done. The sun is starting to hit right here. And all last week, I was working 2 different jobs, and so I should have been out here last week, because then I would have caught these beans a lot better, because they're trying to seed on me. But it just feels very nice. My backyard is like a place to go to escape. Even though I live in a small town, it's a tourist town, and it's pretty hectic. I mean, it's a place to get away. All right, a few more left. And I was going to tell you a story about these little girls here in our town. The 2 little girls, after that flooding happened, I think it's a couple of days after, these 2 little girls decided to start a lemonade stand in their front yard to raise money for the families. And so they raised, I think, $600 or $700, and to donate. They did that all in one day, lemonade stand, and I just thought that was so cute and very very sweet, because when you're little you don't know what you want to help, but how do you help? So they came up with this idea, and they did. All right, almost there. Oh. Let's see. There's some more on there, but they're still feel a little moist. Maybe this evening I'll go back out and look, because the sun might dry it up a little bit. All right, let's see here. Okay, that's about it. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. So we're going to put them in this jar. Let's see, nope, it's right here. I should have a bigger jar, bigger mouth on it. there it is. And then I'm going to put that in the freezer for about 3 days, maybe 4. I don't know if I remember. And then I'll let them. What I'll do is I'll set a towel down on the counter, and I will dump them out and spread them out to let them, like any moisture or anything like that, dry out. And then I'll put them in here. And so let's see. I bet if those on the other side of the yard do what they're supposed to do, maybe I can have enough for right here. Maybe, you think? Enough to make a little bit of soup? Anyways, it is pretty warm out here. And I think that is it for now. And we'll catch you in the next round. You have a good day or good evening, good morning, and God bless.